வணக்கம் children, வெல்கம் டு அகாடமி ஆஃப் எக்ஸலன்ஸ். நான் உங்கள் விஜி. நம்ம கிளாஸ் 12 பயாலஜி பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்க போகிற டாபிக் சாப்டர் 3 ஹியூமன் ரீப்ரொடக்ஷன். ஓகே, as you are aware, humans are sexually reproducing and viviparous. ஸோ நமக்கு நல்லா தெரியும் ஹியூமன்ஸ் வந்து sexually reproducing and viviparous. viviparous நமக்கு நல்லா தெரியும், they give birth young ones. ஓகே, the reproductive events in humans include formation of gametes. ஸோ நல்லா நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க இது. ஸோ என்னென்ன ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்குன்னு பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, இந்த ரீப்ரொடக்டிவ் ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் இன் ஹியூமன்ஸ் இன்க்ளூட் formation of gametes, அதாவது gametogenesis, that is sperms in male and ovum in female form ஆகிறது. Then transfer of sperms into the female genital tract, insemination and fusion of male and female gametes, fertilization leading to formation of zygote. ஓகேவா, இதுதான் இந்த ஈவெண்ட்ஸ்லாம் தான் நடக்குது. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் ஃபாலோட் பை ஃபார்மேஷன் அண்ட் டெவலப்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் பிளாஸ்டோசிஸ்ட் and its attachment to the uterine wall, implantation and embryonic development and delivery of the baby, parturition. So இதெல்லாம் வந்து following events. Okay, so you have learned that these reproductive events occur after puberty. pubertyக்கு அப்புறம் தான் இந்த reproductive events வந்துட்டு நடக்குது. So there are remarkable differences between the reproductive events in the male and in female. For example, sperm formation continues even in old men, but formation of ovum ceases in women around the age of 50 years. Okay, wow. So let us examine the male and female reproductive system in humans. First நம்ம பார்க்க போகிறது the male reproductive system. The male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region. So pelvis region ல வந்துட்டு இது locate ஆயிருக்கு. It includes a pair of testes. So pair of testes present ஆயிருக்கு along with accessory duct இருக்கு, gland and the external genitalia. Okay வா. The testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch called scrotum. So the testes பார்த்தீங்கன்னா scrotum அப்படிங்கிற pouchல abdominal cavityக்கு வெளியில் வந்துட்டு situate ஆயிருக்கு. The scrotum helps in maintaining. So the function of scrotum கேட்டிங்க அப்படின்னா it helps in maintaining the low temperature of the testis. Testis வந்து எப்பவுமே low temperatureல இருக்கும், அதுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுறது வந்து இந்த scrotum தான். ஓகேவா, ஸோ என்ன டெம்பரேச்சர் கேட்டிங்க அப்படின்னா 2 to 2.5 degree C, lower than the normal internal body temperature, necessary for spermatogenesis. ஓகேவா, ஸோ இந்த டெம்பரேச்சர் இருந்தால் தான் இந்த sperm formation அப்படிங்கிறது வந்துட்டு நடக்கும். In adults, each testis is oval in shape. இது ஷேப் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஓவலாக இருக்கும், with a length of about 4 to 5 cm and a width of about 2 to 3 cm. Okay, the testis is covered by a dense covering. Okay, the testis சுற்றி வந்து ஒரு dense covering இருக்கும். Each testis has about 250 compartments called testicular lobule. Okay, so each lobule contains one to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. ஒவ்வொரு lobuleலும் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா 1 to 3 number highly coiled seminiferous tubule present ஆயிருக்கு, in which sperms are produced. இது வந்து important. sperms வந்து எங்கே ப்ரொடியூஸ் ஆகும் கேட்டிங்கன்னா seminiferous tubule வந்து ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது. Each seminiferous tubule is lined on its inside by two types of cells called male germ cell and Sertoli cells. இதனால நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க, very very important. Each seminiferous tubule is lined on its inside by two types of cells called male germ cell, spermatogonia and Sertoli cells. Okay, the male germ cells undergo meiotic division, finally leading to sperm formation, while Sertoli cells provide nutrition to the germ cell. இது வந்து இந்த பாயிண்ட் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஸோ இந்த ஸ்பெர்ம் ஃபார்ம் ஆகும்போதில் எது வந்து நியூட்ரிஷன் கொடுக்குது அப்படின்னா நம்ம Sertoli cells தான் வந்து நியூட்ரிஷன் கொடுக்குது. ஓகேவா, they provide nutrition to the germ cell. Okay, the regions outside the seminiferous tubule called interstitial space contain small blood vessels and interstitial cells and or Leydig cell. இந்த Leydig cell இன்னொரு பேர் என்ன கேட்டிங்கன்னா interstitial cells. Okay, so Leydig cells synthesize and secrete testicular hormones called androgen. இது நல்லா இம்பார்ட்டன்ட், நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இந்த Leydig cell தான் androgen வந்து செக்ரேட் ஆகுது. ஓகே, Leydig cells synthesize பண்ணி and secrete பண்ணுது. ஓகே, Leydig cell synthesize and secrete testicular hormones called androgens. Other immunologically competent cells are also present. Okay, the male sex accessory ducts include retrotestis, vasa efferentia and epididymis. Okay, and vas deferens இதெல்லாம் வந்து accessory duct இதெல்லாம். The male sex accessory ducts include retrotestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis and vas deferens. The seminiferous tubules of the testis open into the vasa efferentia through retrotestis. The seminiferous tubule இருக்கு இல்லையா, இது seminiferous tubules of testis, டெஸ்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய seminiferous tubule வந்து எங்கே ஓப்பன் ஆகுதுன்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா வாசா எஃபரன்ஷியாவில் வந்துட்டு ஓப்பன் ஆகுது த்ரூ retrotestis. இதெல்லாம் accessory duct. Okay, the vasa efferentia leave the testis and open into epididymis located along the posterior surface of each testis. The epididymis leads to vas deferens that ascends to the abdomen and loops over urinary bladder. The epididymis என்ன பண்ணுதுன்னா leads to vas deferens that ascend to the abdomen and loops over the urinary bladder. So it receives a duct from seminal vesicle. It receives a duct from seminal vesicle and opens into urethra as the ejaculatory duct. Okay, va? So these ducts store and transport the sperms from the testis to the outside through urethra. Okay, the urethra originates from the urinary bladder and extends through the penis to its external opening called urethral meatus. Urethral meatus. The urethra originates from the urinary bladder and extends through the penis to its external opening called urethral meatus. Okay, children? The penis is the male external genitalia. It is made up of a special tissue that help in erection of the penis to facilitate insemination. So the enlarged end of penis called the glans penis is covered by a loose fold skin called foreskin. Okay. The male accessory glands include paired seminal vesicle, prostate and paired bulbourethral glands. இதனால் நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இது சப்போஸ் வந்து எக்ஸாமில் கேட்பாங்க. அதாவது accessory glands. The male accessory glands include paired seminal vesicle, a prostate and a paired bulbourethral glands. Secretion of these glands constitute the seminal plasma, which is rich in fructose, calcium and certain enzyme. So the secretion of bulbourethral glands also help in the lubrication of the penis. Okay, va? So the secretion of bulbourethral glands also help in the lubrication of the penis. நம்ம next பார்க்க போகிறது the female reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of pair of ovaries இருக்கும், along with the pair of oviducts, uterus, cervix and vagina and the external genitalia. Okay, located in the pelvic region. These parts of the system along with the pair of the mammary glands are integrated structurally and functionally to support the processes of ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, birth and childcare. Okay. Ovaries are the primary female sex organs that produce the female gamete. So இந்த ovaries தான் female gamete வந்துட்டு produce பண்ணுது ஓவத்தை, and several steroid hormones, ovarian hormones. The ovaries are located on each side of the lower abdomen. Okay, so நம்மளுடைய each side of the lower abdomen the ovaries are located one on each side. Okay va? Each ovary is about 2 to 4 cm in length and is connected to the pelvic wall and uterus by ligaments. So each ovary is covered by a thin epithelium which encloses the ovarian stroma. The ஒவ்வொரு ஓவரியும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா covered by a thin epithelium which encloses the ovarian stroma. The stroma is divided into two zones, a peripheral cortex and the inner medulla. இது நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இந்த stroma இருக்கு இல்லையா, the stroma is divided into two zones, a peripheral cortex and an inner medulla. The oviducts, the fallopian tube வந்துரு, uterus and vagina constitute the female accessory ducts. Each fallopian tube is about 10 to 12 cm long and extends from the periphery of each ovary to the uterus. Okay, Uterus part closer to the ovary is the funnel shaped infundibulum. So இங்க கொடுத்திருக்காங்க பாருங்க infundibulum. The edges of the infundibulum possess finger like projection called fimbriae. இந்த edgesல பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த மாதிரி finger like projection இருக்கு, அது பேர் வந்து fimbriae, which help in collection of the ovum after ovulation. Okay, the infundibulum leads to a wider part of the oviduct called ampulla. Wider part of the oviduct called ampulla. The last part of the oviduct isthmus has a narrow lumen and it joins the uterus. So the last part of the isthmus, the last part has a narrow lumen and it joins the uterus. Okay, the uterus is a single and it is also called womb. This womb nu nama solluvom. The uterus pathina single and it is also called womb. The shape of the uterus is like an inverted pear shape la irukum. It is supported by ligaments attached to the pelvic wall. It is supported by ligaments attached to the pelvic wall. The uterus opens into vagina through a narrow cervix. The cavity of the cervix is called cervical canal. Okay va? Along with vagina forms the birth canal. The wall of the uterus has 3 layers of tissue. The external thin membranous perimetrium, middle thick layer of smooth muscle myometrium, and inner glandular layer called endometrium. இதனால நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. The external thin membranes, அதாவது uterus has 3 layers of tissue. ஓகேவா? The external thin membranous perimetrium, middle thick layer of smooth muscle myometrium, and inner glandular layer called endometrium that lines the uterine cavity. Okay, the endometrium undergoes cyclical changes during menstrual cycle, while the myometrium exhibits strong contraction during delivery of the baby. So இதை நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இந்த myometrium தான் exhibits strong contraction during delivery of the baby. Okay, the female external genitalia include mons pubis, labia majora and labia minora, hymen and clitoris. Mons pubis is a cushion of fatty tissue covered by skin and pubic hair. The labia majora are fleshy folds of tissue which extends down from the mons pubis and surrounded the vaginal opening. The labia minora are paired folds of tissue under the labia majora. The opening of the vagina is often covered partially by a membrane called hymen. The clitoris is a tiny finger-like structure which lies at the upper junction of the 2 labia minora above the urethral opening. Okay, the hymen is often torn during the first coitus. However, it can also be broken by a sudden fall or jolt, insertion of a vaginal tampon, active participation in some sports like horseback riding, cycling, etc. In some women, the hymen persists even after coitus. In fact, the presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity or sexual experience. Next பார்க்க போகிறது, a functional mammary gland is characteristic of all female mammals. The mammary glands are paired structure breasts that contain glandular tissue and variable amount of fat. The glandular tissue of each breast is divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes containing cluster of cells called alveoli. The cells of alveoli secrete milk which is stored in the cavities, lumens of the alveoli. The alveoli open into mammary tubules. A tubule of each lobe join to form mammary duct. Several mammary ducts join to form a wider mammary ampulla which is connected to lactiferous duct through which milk is sucked out. Okay children, hope இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் children. ஸோ நம்ம சேனலில் லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள், கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்கள், சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள். நம்ம நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸில் கேமெட்டோஜெனசிஸ் பார்க்கலாம். தேங்க்யூ children.